rules in place, limits, stops. Make sure that you're ready. Don't give back your weekly profits on a Friday. Let's end the week good. Most people give their profits back on Friday, you guys. So just stay cool with your trading. It's not a day to overtrade. We were supposed to have NFP today. That didn't happen. And we are open. Got to tighten right out of the, no, almost had to tighten right out of the gate. What is it?
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, just checking in because I'm gonna have to take off. I have a committee meeting that I have to go to for about an hour, and then I'll be back. But I'll be here for the mentorship thing. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll be here.
Okay. Bye bye.
I'll look at it here in just a little bit. Okay. All right. Oh, we didn't hit my level. Not too much action there. So far, just reading the order flow, we've got pretty aggressive selling leading into this throughout the whole process here. So it's pushing down, but we've got kind of like cumulatively, we have more positive or bullish delta on NASDAQ and bearish on the micro version. So it's a little bit mixed. There's the first winner off of that zone down here. So if you and are in mentorship and seen that level, that's your first winner right there. Just like that.
So Ken, on those levels, you're just entering at those levels, you're not waiting for like a flush at that level or sweep or anything like that?
Not
Just
really.
kind of getting in because that was pretty okay. Cool. Well, that's good to know. Damn,
Yeah,
that thing.
I mean, because
That.
yeah, it does. It almost does it every day. I mean, if you've seen me, I've done this almost every day for like long time, and so it just. I mean, some of them win, some of them lose. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're either. That's why I'm on micro also, because NASDAQ is just too volatile right now. So but oftentimes it dips right down into here, it does that thing, and then it'll give you 25 points a lot of times. And obviously, in this case, it did a lot more.
And what are you doing? A stop loss of 25?
Yeah, just 25-point setup. And I put it in here. That's what this is. Oh, hold on.
Is that a volume?
Yeah, it happened to be a volume level as well. So that
Okay.
was just see, this is what I put in chat. This is a long time ago this morning. Just dip right down into there. Bink, bink.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I also had analyzed the volume here. I mean, there was a ton of volume like inside of this area right here, on NASDAQ and on MNQ. So I was hoping that this area would be kind of defended right here if price went down in there. Now up here, see this level's okay. This level's okay, but we have untested volume levels up here, so I'm thinking that we end up here, but there's our second winner right here. So that's basically a done for the day type of thing right here as well. So I just traded this one as well, but I used half my size. So there's another 25-point win right here. So this is $1,000 right here. If you if you got the balls to trade NASDAQ on it and the margin, that's 500 here, 500 there. That's $1,000 you just made in the first 5 minutes of open. For me, trading micros, I can be way more like decisive with it. I could risk $100. I could risk $50. What is it? 25 points on one micro is 50, and I think it's 50, and then two of them is two is 100. So you can really use these zones. You use it in combination with these volume zones, and boom, boom, boom. It happens almost every day. It's just you zoom out, look at it, see where it looks like it's gonna go. This one went for 50. Somebody's mic is just steadily making some weird noise.
Oops, sorry.
It's all right. Sounds like you're in a car. Let's see, where are those? That's what, all the way up at 950. I'll be right back.
Glad your mic's hot, but
What's going on? What we look like? Good morning.
Good morning. I just came back.
Hey, she gonna put a tail on her for the end of the week, ain't we?
That's what it looks like, huh?
Just like they did last week.
Yeah, I know. It's been quite the week. There's been ups, there's been downs, and there's been ups. There's been it's crazy with the, it's all because of the NFP situation. Like, all that stuff was priced in. We put that in chat yesterday when you had dropped that little message.
Yeah, when I seen it, I said, "Oh man, okay then." So, because it was extra volatile yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It was like that was the most volatility we had all week, really.
Yeah, it was.
Man, yesterday I checked the weekly range yesterday, man, 1,700 points before we started this tail.
You mean like at the beginning of the week, right?
Yeah, at the beginning
Yeah.
of the week, we done
Yeah.
dropped 17 points to the low of this week.
Yeah, so I was also noticing that too. I was just looking at numbers this morning because I think it was this morning or last night. I looked at the chart and I was looking at my phone, and everything looked so exaggerated on there. And so I started looking at it and I said, man, I was like, this thing's going straight up. And then I was like, it's really going up. And then I started to notice that we were in like the 24s. And I was like, weren't we just in the 26s? And then I'm like, man, that's so crazy because it's dropped over 2,000 points, but everyone's been so busy with the Epstein files and gold and silver. Nobody called, stock market crash because they were so focused on the other conspiracies this week, and last week. So,
Yeah,
normally everyone's like, oh yeah, there it goes, we're going into recession. No. Every time it drops, 1,000 points or something. And here we are dropping 2,000 points. Nobody even blinks because they're so busy with everything else. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Hey, you know what? I'm curious what you guys think because I've been terrorizing the internet a little bit, and I think because I really don't like conspiracy theories. I don't like to spend a lot of energy on something that's not true and most likely will never be true. And especially because of the emotions that get put into these conspiracies. But the Bitcoin, all right, everyone's saying that Jeffrey Epstein created Bitcoin. And I don't whatever, right? But obviously y'all see that Bitcoin is down and y'all know that it was at 125,000. Does nobody else see a 100% return opportunity in that? Like, I don't get it because everybody wants to buy Bitcoin.
I've been buying some every week
Okay, good.
since it's been going down.
Because everyone's in here conspiracy, and I said, you know what? That's the problem right there. Like,
It's finna go right back.
I know. So, and this has done this over and over. I remember when it hit 20,000, then it dropped down to 7,000 or whatever it was, and I said, hey, there's you guys said you wanted to double your money, and now the opportunity's here, and you're saying it's going to go to zero. And then it did it again. And then, 20, and then 40, and then 80. And every single time, all over the internet, everyone's like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's done. It's going to zero. And you got all these people laughing at people, you know, like all the look, hey, I got XRP. I loved the idea of XRP, but the reality is it didn't perform. Okay. And so you got the XRP army they're like laughing at Bitcoin traders right now. And they're like, yeah, I told you guys, they only had to wait 10 years to tell you. Right. But then, you know, they're like talking people into not buying Bitcoin. And I'm like, why would you do that? Because, you know, and these guys are supposed to be professionals. They're giving you, but not giving you financial advice. And I'm like, no, you're kind of steering people in a weird way. So like, I look at it as an opportunity. I'm right there with you, Clyde. I'm like, hey, you know what? This is a 100% return. Even my girlfriend understands that. We were on our walk last night, and I was like, all-time high 125. We're at 65. If you invest now, you know, then if it goes to 125, which is very likely it will go back to 125. I mean, it's an investment. It's a risk just like anything else. You know what I mean? You could go deposit, you could go invest in some Apex accounts, right? And you could either win or lose. You could go invest in some Bitcoin, you'll win or lose. But the real opportunity to make 100% on your money is actually there right now. So don't be scared, guys. But I am like a little curious. What do y'all think? I mean, are you buying Bitcoin? I just TP'd
Well,
in this
I,
Bitcoin.
I, I, I do buy Bitcoin. However, I DCA in it. So I do like $20
Uh-huh.
a month, and that's as far as I'm going.
Yep.
For right now, until things get better, then I'll invest more. But
Yeah.
most all my accounts that I have, I DCA into them. I don't buy a full stock of nothing. Everything else is DCA into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. I'm right there with you. So I've had $100 a week go into Bitcoin since okay, so remember when XRP, y'all know XRP was supposed to go to the moon. Well, I put up an automatic purchase on Coinbase back when, you know, when everyone thought we were going to get rich on XRP. That was 2017. It's probably late 2017. Let me put it that way. Late 2017, not early. I wasn't that guy. I was late, but I did what you did, Antoinette. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start investing in this. I went to Coinbase, $100 a week. I bought XRP for years until Coinbase delisted it. I have so much XRP, and so $100, $400 a month, you know, or more in XRP, and that stuff was so cheap. And so, but then they cut that off, you know, they stopped it, they delisted it. So when that happened, I started buying Bitcoin. And so I've done exactly what you're saying. I never, you know, I actually I bought Bitcoin at the high. I bought it low. I've bought it every single place here and there and in between. And it's just same way you're talking about. Just, you know, you just get in there and I don't have to think about it. And, you know, and it just goes. So
You can use crypto.com for XRP. I do it like an automatic payment with them.
oh yeah, no,
So
I think Coinbase brought it back, but I don't know if I'm gonna buy XRP anymore. I have a lot of XRP, and man, that was my first big crypto letdown. I got heavily invested in XRP because I really thought I did miss the original 20,000. You know, isn't it funny to think that when Bitcoin hit 20,000, we're all kicking ourselves saying we missed it. We missed the biggest opportunity of the lifetime. And so when that happened, I said, I'm not going to miss this XRP. And so I really loaded up on XRP. So man, if it ever works out, it's going to be crazy with XRP. Like it's actually a crazy amount. Like I don't know if it's possible. I've ran all the different scenarios and talked to a lot of people. You know, like and a lot of people say it's impossible for XRP to actually go to like 10,000 or even 1,000, and you know, and things like that. But man, it would be cool. One day you just imagine you just wake up, you know, and you've got 100,000 XRP, and then you just wake up and it's at, you know, 1,000. Next day you wake up, it's at 5,000. Next day you wake up 10,000. don't know what I would do. You know what I'd do? I'd find me a place that has no tax. All right, so listen, guys, I'm here for moral support at this point. I've gotten 3 trades. I let me find my last one here. I wrote that thing up and I wrote that down, so you guys can laugh at me if you want, but I had faith in it. I think that we're going up to these top levels. That's why I've got them marked up. It makes sense to me. So I'm out now, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I took these 2 trades, which was obvious. Those I posted both of these trades before the session even opened. So that was available to anyone and everybody. You guys could have, should have got those. But I went ahead and when price pushed up to here, I won this trade. When it pulled back down and wicked down below here, I seen the rejection, and then I entered on this candle when it pulled back down. So I got another one right about, just tell you exactly where I got it. It was at 851. 851. Right there. I did my normal 25, and I took that up to 90, 49, I think. 47. 47 right there. And yes, I took it up and I wrote it straight back down. I didn't know it was going to do that. So so those are mine for the day. I took some trades. I'm actually, so you all know I got 20 total, but I am, after all that trading that I just talked about, I'm at $130 on each individual one, and that's because I tried to kind of jump out in front of this early during pre-market. I was up early this morning, so I was just like, I was actually just trying to trade this, and I lost both my trades. I got I was like, it was like, you know how sometimes you push the button and the market goes immediately against you. I mean, it was like that. I pushed the button and immediately turned around. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't buy right here and then I got stopped out, and then I tried to buy right here. I tried to buy right here. This I know I tried to buy right here because I saw this rejection, right? They don't that look, I was bullish. Why does people always call me in the morning? Okay, so I saw this rejection. Remember, I'm bullish, so I said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna go sweep the highs before open." That's what I thought because I saw that rejection right there. So I bought right here, and bam, instantly. I never even saw no profit. So I lost 2 trades, but I used half of my normal position because it wasn't at a key level. So I was really just trying to get out in front of it. I don't know what I was thinking, guys. But I lost both of those. So I actually started the day down. Wasn't a very good feeling, but that's why I was really careful. That's why I said I'm going to only trade here, which I did. I was very confident in this level, and I'll show you why here. Look at this. Look at that nice smooth liquidity map. No algorithmic activity today. That's how it should be. All right, but look, this is why I was like really looking at this area here, because see all those orders that came in. There's lots of volume. You can see where the buyers actually stepped in, right? And so you could these are sellers, yes, but look, price didn't go down. You see all those stacked imbalances at the bottom. That's all selling contracts and no reward, which meant that if they were selling that aggressively, 247 contracts sold at that price right there. If they were selling that aggressively, somebody was sitting here scooping up all those sells with buys. So when price comes back to here, we would expect that maybe they defend, right? It's just an idea. It could win, it could lose, but it made me confident because I could see the volume here, right? And then the same deal on NASDAQ, on the main NASDAQ. So this is the micro, this is the mini, but you can also see synchronized buying across both of them. So we had buyers step in. If you look at, just don't pay attention where I'm pointing, just look at the vertical line. You see how you see it's moving, and you see the vertical line moving, and you can see that that's aggressive buying synchronized across the mini and the micro version. So I said, you know what? I bet they're going to defend this area right here. That's what I was hoping, and that worked out. So I was very confident in this one. Was not confident in this one because I thought we were going to go up here, so I used half my size here. So I barely made any money there. And then I went half size here, but I took it up to the level that I was expecting it to go to. And look, there was another 25-point trade. If you took this one, I also shared this one before the session started, but there's 2 zones there, so I was scared. But you can see it pushed up into this zone as well, so you could have done the same type of deal right here. I tell you, I'm pretty good with these zones, picking the right spot. This zone right here, the reason I've got that one marked up right there is because it was the high of yesterday's New York session. I put a 25-point thing on top of that, and then I put another 25-point on top of that because of this volume level up here. Right at 25,000, which we might hit. I don't know. This looks like this looks intentional right here to me. So where'd my sessions go or whatever? Pushing that down for something. What are y'all doing? Are you in the money or what?
And was that middle trade a Titan?
Every trade I took, you mean this one right here?
Yes.
No, this was just a retest. I just seen it retest. This is strictly price action. The whole reason for this is because I seen it retest back into all these wicks right here, and I was already bullish. I was already expecting that we were going to go up to at least 950. So when I had just gotten out of this trade, right? So I traded into here, and then boom, it came back into here. Wicks, all in here. So it's rejecting. So boom, traded. Came and it came right out of there. It went up, went down, and then went up to the level. So, but you can see, you see all these wicks down here. If you'll start paying attention to those, I'm telling you, a lot of times when even here, see if you didn't get in right here, which I could understand, then right in here is good. And then look, we're also right back in that area. So that's where you start asking that question: is the behavior the same, right? Like, are we rejecting this area? And if so, that could be trading opportunities right there as well. I mean, it's always a trading opportunity. You're gonna win them, you're gonna lose them. But this at least gives you some context. Like, I'm trading because there is rejection here. So you have a reason for trading, and you have an invalidation point. If it goes below here, it's no longer rejecting, right? So you know, you could, right here is that it's at its lowest risk, you know, right inside of that area, just like that. Those are quick type of trade. So I just look for that type of stuff
Right
when
on.
I'm doing a price action.
Then price came all the way up to the top there, and you caught that short as well?
No, I marked it out, but
Okay.
I wasn't even looking at the chart. I didn't realize that price had tapped into that zone. I didn't notice that it hit that zone until it was already out of there, and then I said, "Oh, wait a minute here." But you know, look, every morning before the market opens, if you'll take a look at this, I don't just it's this I try my best to give us really good levels because these are the levels I'm planning on trading. So, you know, this is the one that it bounced off of right there. This is what I was thinking was it would go here and then up into here. And so, yeah, it makes me lean towards being bullish, but almost every time I share these levels, they work every single morning. I know every single day this morning, these have worked and they're all 25 points. So that's, you know, again, that's 500 points on NASDAQ. I mean, $500 on NASDAQ every single time.
On the
Or,
volume indicator, right?
yeah, or you could go on micros, which you probably want to go on micros because you could be a lot more flexible with that. Yes, this one didn't hold up here, you see. But
Hey, Ken, I'm going through the blueprint for the third time, and I'm still I have trouble understanding some things. But when you see pending buy or pending entry, how do you know if that's a pending buy or sell?
on the Titan,
Yeah.
so it's gonna basically like here. Let me go to Titan right fast. So pretty much like what's going to happen is as you're sitting here looking at it, like it's about to happen right now, right? Is if this candle, well, here, let me just go to a smaller time frame because I can guarantee we'll see one quickly. All right, so give it a second. As soon as this candle closes, we're going to get a bullish. It's going to say pending. As long as this candle closes red, right here. So you kind of get used to, see, boom, right here, pending entry. It's got to be a buy because see the TP is above and the stop loss is below. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
You see how that works? And now
Oh,
boom.
okay.
Wow. Okay. That was very loud.
It seems that like the way I have my indicators set up, they're not showing to the right that much. So like I see a lot of your indicators, my indicators I can't see.
Have you
They're
tried
like they haven't moved.
have you tried to like move it over to the right so you can see it? Like what are you not seeing? Like if you see my screen that looks like this right here.
Take profit, pending, so on and so forth. Like I see it more to the left, so I don't know what time to actually be paying attention to that.
Well, let me think about how I can help you answer that. So, it shows up, the indicator is the same for everybody. Nobody has a different version. So your indicator is going to show up the exact same way mine is. Now, the only difference is we have different screen sizes, right? So if you're zoomed in really close like this, then yeah, it's going to be hard to see yours because it's going to be, you know, you're going to be over here and it's going to be displaying it over there. So in that case, you just need to zoom out. And if you zoom out like this, the labels stay the same. See, I can zoom all the way out. The labels don't change. They just start to overlap. So you just need to kind of adjust your chart to what feels comfortable. And, you know, sometimes there's going to be sections like this where they overlap, right? Like where, you know, where the price action gets consolidated or choppy and then they start overlapping. It's like that. It's price action, you know what I mean? And so that's just part of trading. But it's not always going to be like that, right? Like you'll have isolated indicators, and the thing is you're trading one at a time. So like here you get one trade, it was a sell and it won. The next one you got to buy, it triggered there, but it'll keep all right. JRFX, I keep kicking you because it sounds like you're strapped to the outside of an airplane. So this went down, hit stop, but it triggered the entry and then it continued to go down to the TP. So the more you use it, you'll not only will you start to you'll be able to use it easily, but you'll start anticipating the pattern, because I'm not hiding anything here. This pattern is very simple. It goes like that. That's what this Titan is. I got nothing to gatekeeper hide. I'm not, I want you to know that this is the pattern right here. It's going to be a bullish candle, a bearish candle, and then the continuation. See how it's popped up? You see, because we got the bullish, the bearish. Now, the requirement is that it's got to continue on the next candle. So you will know you're not going to trade this because 3, 2, 1, gone. You're going to start knowing because it's a 3 candle pattern: bullish, bearish, bullish continuation. That's all this is. It's a break and retest. What's powerful about the indicator, the only reason why I even need to use the indicator is because it will calculate the contract size for me. It's a convenience thing for me, and so that I don't have to sit here and you won't be able to sit there and do the math. You won't be able to do it fast enough. You just actually cannot do it. So being able to have the indicator is convenient because it's going to calculate that for you. It's gonna, it's telling you. I tell it, I want to risk $1,000 a trade, just as an example, right? I type that in right here. I want to risk $1,000 on each trade. I press OK. It's now going to calculate the contract size. So it's going to say, all right, Ken, you said you wanted here. Let me make this a little bigger, which you can do too. You can change the label size and make it thicker. So right here, it says, I said I wanted to risk $1,000. So it says, okay, Ken, you said you wanted to risk $1,000. The closest I can get you to a $1,000 risk without exceeding the risk is $789. And that would be 3 minis. And, you're going to, if you enter here, and you place your stop loss here and you use 3 minis, it's a $789 risk. Now, if I wanted to, only risk $500, I could type that and it's going to say, okay, Ken, I could give you 1 contract because 1 contract is going to be 263. Obviously, 2 contracts is going to put you over 500, right? So that's why it's doing that, right? And you can't trade 5 contracts. So, so you'd have to say, like, all right, let's say 650 as an example. See, now you see 2 contracts is going to have you at 526. So if you were okay, risking $550, then yeah, you could use 2 contracts. You want to risk 550, the total risk is 526. It does all that for you. So you know where your TPs are, you know how much you're going to make. I've already baked all the fees into here. So these these already have all the fees that are, inside of here, so that all that's calculated. So what you want to do, Scott, is you want to start anticipating.
I'm Dave, actually.
Wait.
It's Dave Scott.
I just see Scott over there on the
It's
it
okay.
literally says Scott. So what you want to do is you want to start learning to anticipate it. And if you can remember, bearish, bullish, that's your pattern, right? Bearish, bullish, you're looking for a sell next, right? You know that you're going to be looking for a sell. If you get a bearish and then a bullish. Now, when you get a bullish and a bearish, you're going to be looking for a buy, right? And that's what we just saw right there. And so once you can start anticipating that trade, then you realize, oh, wow, okay, I can already see this pattern. It's just really nice that the indicator structures everything for me, because now I know that I'm not going to exceed my risk. I know that if I use 1 contract, I'm not going to lose more than $283, so you can actually, get things set up. And you also know that if you go and you hit TP2, like we just saw, or like we're almost seeing here, you're going to make $500 if you use that 1 contract. So it just, it's all about structuring it for you.
I have a question. How come on TP1 it doesn't close the trade, TP2 it does, or am I missing something?
Well, it's not going to, this doesn't open or close trades for you. It's just you're responsible for placing the trade.
Okay.
So you're going to anticipate the trade. And when it says pending, what you need to do is you need to go in and actually place your order, your limits and whatnot. So like, let me Let me see. How do you go into a? How do you log into a paper trade account on here? Let me try. Like, there we go. Don't y'all look at my paper trade. Okay, so watch. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. What's that? Okay. Just give it a second. We're on a 15-second, so any second we're gonna get one. I'm gonna show you how to anticipate it real time. All right, I'm expecting a buy because why? I have bullish, bearish. If this candle closes bullish, I know my entry is gonna be right here. So I could actually start getting things ready right now. I could go ahead. I know this because I've been using it. Watch levels. Now, if this trade is triggered, I will be placing my stop here. And I will be placing my TP. I could place it here, right? I could use the partial TP. Oh, hold on. It took it away from me. Or I could put my TP right there, just like that. And you see how now I'm already in the trade, right? I'm in the trade now. I recommend that people use this TP as when they first start, right? This TP right here. And it's just like that. You do that over and over, following the trade plan. That's perfect execution, what you just saw. And I'm doing it on a 15-second. So I don't want to hear nobody say you can't do it on a 1 minute. It is absolutely possible if you practice the way that I'm showing you. You'd anticipate it, right? Bullish. If this candle closes bearish, guess what? We're going to have us a buy order coming in, right? Now, if it closes bullish, we're not. We'll just give it a sec. All right, there's my stop order. Now this lasts for only 15 seconds because I'm on a 15-second chart. If it doesn't trigger within 15 seconds, then I cancel the order. And that's what you'll do too. Boom, just like that. Now we're looking, remember to be ready to reverse out of here because see now, if we close bullish, we are actually going to have a sell signal, but we're not going to close bullish, I don't think. Nope. So at this point, because it's bearish, we're waiting for a bullish candle. So what I like to do is I'll go and I'll put like a sell stop down here, and then I can get ready like this. See, it's gonna set up right here. 3, 2, 1. There's where my stop loss goes. See, I'm just matching it. I'm literally just copying the indicator, just like that. And oh yeah, use this TP as you're getting ready. Use that first TP right there. Now paper trading sucks. See, it didn't actually enter me at the right price, right? But you get the idea. Paper trading on TradingView sucks. You can do this over and over again, and you see I'm winning all these little Titan trades here on a 15-second. You can do it on, the 1 minute. You can do it on. I like doing it on a 1 minute, but to practice.
Okay.
To practice, you see how often you get signals if you go on the 15-second. That's going to let you practice the anticipation of the trade. And remember the goal is, you want to say, all right, I'm going to risk $1,000, whatever. You want to get used to, looking at that pending entry, and you need to be, ideally having your one-click trading on. I don't trade on TradingView, so I don't have those buttons there. They scare me, but see pending, it says right there. So we would, if it's a pending order and it says one contract, then we'd make sure we only have one contract here. And, oh, well, it already switched around on me here, but you get the idea, right? And again, you see, I'm doing this on a 15-second. If I can do it on a 15-second, it's absolutely possible for people to do it on a 1 minute. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I just have one other question. I'm gonna be, when I get to Apex, I'm gonna be doing a $50,000 account. What would the risk that you would suggest? Because it's not going to be as high as your risk on a $300,000 account. Like, what would be a good risk to start with?
What I personally recommend. This is just look. I'm not allowed to tell you exactly how much risk, but what I think is a good idea is to risk no more than 5% of your trailing drawdown, and I break that down in the blueprint as well because you don't have $50,000. You have what's the trailing $2,500. You have $2,500. You don't have 50,000 on a 300,000. You don't have 300,000. You have 7,500. And what I see is people when I first started with Apex, they're like, oh, I got a $300,000 account, I'll risk 1%. Well, you take 2 or 3 trades and you've already blown the account. You can't, you got to work with the margin that's available to you. And that is the, what am I trying to say? That's the trailing drawdown. So if you will risk 5% of your trailing drawdown, then what that does is effectively give you 20 losing trades in a row. You would have to lose 18 to 20 trades in a row to actually blow your account. If you get any winners in the middle of that, it's only going to prolong it. So that actually gives you enough time to stick to a strategy and see the edge working out over time instead of, blowing the account in a few days or in a few trades. So nobody has ever come to me and said, Ken, I did exactly what you said, and I literally lost 20 trades in a row, and I blew my account. Everybody blows their account because they don't listen. They don't risk 5% of the trailing drawdown. That's why they do it. It's the same thing over and over. I've seen it probably 200 times by now, unfortunately.
Okay,
So,
here's where I was confused before, and I just saw the label. Like it came up, it said take profit, but it didn't say, and it said pending, but it didn't say pending buy or sell, or maybe I was just can't see it.
Yeah, see, look, it'll pop up on the right side when it's pending. All right, it'll pop up on the right side while it's pending. I did that intentionally so that the pendings don't overlap with the, confirmed signals, because sometimes they end up in the same place. So, it makes sense. So they're going to appear on the right side. Now, there are some options in here that you want to make sure that are there, which would be show prices on labels, show TP1, show TP2. If you have compact labels turned on, then it's going to look like this, right? And it's, very, very, very minimum, just lines and words. So just make sure that your settings look like that. And then, TP2, show TP1, show prices. You have to, in order to see like risk amounts and stuff, you actually have to use the risk settings. But yours should be popping up exactly like mine. And if it's not, see, like if you're looking at a 15-second, you're about to see a pending buy right now.
Okay.
And do you see it? And it says pending?
Yeah, I see that, but I don't see where it says buy or sell. That's what I'm getting confused at.
Well, it's green. Okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah, the word buy is not there.
Right.
Yeah, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, it never says buy or sell. It's just because I don't know. I didn't do that. I didn't. I made them green for buys and I made them red for sells. Yeah, because look, if the TP is down,
I got you.
If the TP is down
I
here,
got you.
And again, bearish, bullish, and then bearish. But I now that you said that out loud, it wouldn't be no big deal to just say buy, pending buy entry. I could add that in there or add the word buy right above it or something. If that's the first time anyone ever said that to me.
I just didn't realize the color core. Just like bullish and bearish, I have mine red and blue.
Gotcha.
So the same thing with that: green buy, red sell.
Yep, exactly. And I'm telling you, as you use this, you will actually, it'll get a little dangerous because you're gonna start seeing this pattern without the indicator. Okay, and so you might be on your phone, you might be walking down the street, you're gonna start noticing this pattern and be like, hey, look, there's a Titan right there, and so you'll know that it's a bullish continuation or a bearish continuation. Just remember that this is what you're really looking at. It's very, very simple. It's bullish pattern like that, bearish pattern like this. See, we're getting a bearish one right now. And so, so yeah, this would be sell, and the other ones would be for a buy.
Okay.
And then it'll
that
switch.
Makes a hell of a lot more sense.
Yeah, it'll switch like that. You see how? And so you see why I made them like this, because see, now we're also getting a pending buy, but that's we can't do anything about that because it is price action. The pattern is theirs. That's why it's saying, hey, we're getting a pending buy. It's letting you know that we're getting a pending buy right there. And now we've got a price action pattern for a pending sell. So it's when the market gets like this, where it's bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, right? Then that is what's going to happen. You're going to get signals back to back. It is how it is. There's nothing I'll ever be able to do about it, but I can color code them so that you can see it. And then what you can start to do as time goes on is you can decide, like, all right, am I just gonna take every single trade as it comes, right? Am I just going to take the trades as they come? That's what I would recommend you do. Just take them. Don't ask no questions. Just define your trade plan, take your trades, and then book a meeting with me, right? Book a meeting with me. I'm going to look at your trades. What I need from you is at least 100 perfectly executed Titan trades. When I look at it and when we talk, I want you to be like, hey Ken, it's Dave. Remember you called me Scott, and you know, and then I listened to what you said that day, and I am so freaking good at taking these trades. My entry is on target every single time. I can see these things coming from a mile away. I got my entries, my take profit. I'm doing really, really good. I'm confident in my in my ability to execute this strategy. That's what you're doing right now, is you're building confidence in your ability to execute the strategy. That has nothing to do with winning or losing or how much money you're making or not making. It's you building confidence in execution of the strategy. Now, I'm going to say that is really good, Dave. Now, go take me 100 perfect trades or at least 30 days worth of Titan trades. I need at least 30 days worth, right? Or at least 100 trades. Try not to do it in 3 days. That doesn't give me a lot of data, right? 3 days, you know, the market could have been consolidating, it could have been trending up. We want exposure in different market conditions to see if what you're doing is working over time. And so then I'll look at your trades and we will start to refine the trade plan for you. And now, as that goes on, depending on your results, that's where we'll start to say, okay, you know, could we have done anything different here? Instead of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, could we have said, well, let's focus on a specific location, right? And maybe we're only going to take sell trades here and we're only going to take buy trades, you know, down here, right? That alone gets rid of every single one of these trades in the middle, and that leaves you with only buys that come out of this zone, or only, you know, like only sales that maybe come out of this zone, you know, something like that. But we'll do that later once we know how you're doing at a baseline level. Not right now, because right now you don't know what you're capable of yet. I don't know. You don't know.
Right.
Nobody knows. Everybody uses it differently. You know what I mean? Like, even though we're all using the same strategy, it's crazy because everybody actually does it a little bit different. You know, you're going to catch different trades than me. Some people trade the 3 minute, some people trade the 1 minute. So you know, it's not about copying exactly what I'm doing. We're refining an edge that's unique to you, you know, using this strategy. So yeah,
Gotcha.
the more you can stick to it, the better.
And I responded to, we have a ticket open. I responded to you this morning. I told you I was in the ER yesterday. I sent you a long message this morning. I don't want to answer, you know, I don't want to take any more time with questions that are in the
All right.
questions I already asked you in the ticket.
Okay. I'll after I'm done trading, I'll go check that.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ken.
You're welcome. All right. What are we going to do, guys? We're back here. Nice little tap back into that same zone from earlier. Lots of volume. Everybody green? In the week good? Got questions? Guess everyone's green and rich.
I'm quiet. We'll talk later. I don't have nothing to say.
All right. All right, let's see. This one. Let me see. Nope. So 15-second Titans are actually it's just smacking in here. It's kind of crazy. I don't even want to trade them. See what that looks like. I don't think you could do it on. I don't think you could do it on NASDAQ. That's so crazy how even on a 15-second chart, NASDAQ is so volatile that a little setup like this exceeds the risk. I mean, we're talking there's still 25 points on a 15-second setup. Oops. All right. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna hop off. I got this webinar here in a little bit, so I've already kind of yeah, I've basically done what I want to do. It's Friday, green, end of the week. I showed y'all my trades already. Up a couple $100 on one account, which of course copies to 20. So a good way to end the week. Mentorship. We have the webinar on Friday. we have the webinar here in a little bit at 12. I'd really recommend showing up. You guys know I've been working on a bunch of stuff. I've also put, announcements and whatnot inside of the announcement section. So for any of you guys that have questions, I've already put all the instructions there. We've got new tools coming out, indicators, feedback. Obviously, y'all know what we're typically trading with. I like to do order flow. What I'm trying to do is kind of bridge the gap between trading order flow on a separate platform and being able to trade on TradingView where you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So every single thing that I'm doing, and some of y'all know if you're following along, I've been working on this for a while now, and so I've been like, I'm not even going to, but I've created so much, and I'm starting to push all that stuff out. So it's videos, it's indicators, things like that. So if you have questions, you can go into Discord, support ticket, and you can message me there. I know it says support ticket, you guys, but it is just straight up the easiest way to reach me. If you click request support, I know it looks fancy like you're about to have a whole ticket or whatever. It's just a message. You press create, it's going to open a ticket right here, and boom, it's a direct line. So if you have questions, that's the best way to get a hold of me. If you are in STS, that is the most direct way. I check those messages every single day. You don't need to, if you're in here in STS, you don't need to send me messages on Facebook and Telegram and WhatsApp and all these other kind of channels. This is that support channel is strictly for STS members, and I check that before anything else. So if you have questions, go in there. For those of you that are in mentorship, I'll see you guys on the webinar, and I'll kind of show you some of the stuff. I'll show you some of the stuff, and we'll go over everything there. And for everyone else, I'll see you on Monday for live trading.
See you at the webinar. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. See you later.